I'm sure you and Andrew will get along. I didn't think so. He seemed arrogant and spoiled. The way our parents were trying to set us up was fishy as well. In the evening, we all went to a restaurant for dinner, and I found out the truth. My world turned upside down. Andrew's parents and mom looked at us and declared that we were a perfect couple. Alicia, Andrew, there's something you should know. When you were babies, we decided that you would marry when you grew up, and we would all be one big happy family. It was time for you to meet. That's why we organized this trip. What the heck? I couldn't believe my ears. It all made sense now. Mom had been preparing me for that marriage my whole life. That's why she kept me in a golden cage and forbade me from talking to boys. That's also what all those fricking photo shoots were for. She'd been sending photos of me to the Crowleys to brag about how beautiful I was. I was fuming with anger. I didn't want anything to do with Andrew. He wasn't thrilled either. When my mom and I were finally alone, I went ballistic. She sighed heavily and confessed that we were up to our ears in debt and my marriage was the only thing that could save us. But I didn't care about the money. If I was ever going to get married, I would do it for love. I was gutted and texted Toby, hoping he would comfort me. But he wasn't online. The next day, our parents decided Andrew and I had to go on a date and sent us on a boat ride. It was a nightmare. Don't go too far. It can be dangerous on wild beaches. There are bandits there. Thanks for telling us after we set off. I didn't want to spend the whole day with Andrew, so I decided to clear a few things up. Listen, I don't like you and I already have a boyfriend. Relax, you're not my type. He looked like a Ken doll, so I wasn't about to fall for him either. We glared at each other, and then Andrew suddenly smiled slyly and pointed at a small island ahead of us. I've got an idea. He suggested we spend the day on that island and go back to our parents in the evening. I liked his idea. We moored the boat and went our separate ways. Meet me at the boat at 6. If you're late, I'll leave without you. I'm not going to wait for you either. I found a secluded spot and spent the day sunbathing. I missed Toby like a limb. I wanted to call him, but there was no signal on the island. In the evening, I headed back to the boat. Andrew was already there. He was running along the shore and waving his arms. Something was wrong. I took a closer look and realized that the boat was nowhere to be seen. Oh no! Why didn't you tie the boat properly? How are we supposed to get back now? I was ready to pounce on Andrew. But then we saw a man that looked like a pirate. He started shouting that strangers weren't welcome there. Jeez, my heart sank. Andrew grabbed my arm and dragged me deeper into the jungle. Those are the bandits my father told us about. Let's get out of here. We lost the pirate, caught our breath, and Andrew told me his plan. Our parents will come looking for us, but we'll probably have to spend the night here. Are you nuts? Staying here is dangerous. Where are we going to sleep? Calm down, I'll protect you and think of something. He gathered some palm tree branches and leaves and built a small hut. He set aside some of the branches for a campfire. It all looked quite cozy. Then Andrew dug a hole and covered it with grass. What's that for? If our enemies come at night, they will fall into the trap. Wow, that was smart. It soon got dark and cold. My stomach was rumbling with hunger. Andrew managed to start a fire without matches. Wow. Then he suddenly left. Wait here, I'll come back soon. A few minutes later, he came back with a huge fish in his hands. It's not much. If only I had a fishing rod. Wow, did he catch it with his bare hands? Andrew was quite manly, huh? I saw him in a new light. He turned out to be brave and not spoiled at all. If I hadn't been dating Toby, I might have even liked Andrew. At dinner, we got to talking and realized we had a lot in common. Andrew's parents had also kept him in a golden cage and deceived him his whole life. I didn't mean to be rude to you, it's just that their plans pissed me off. Oh, I get it. I should have tried to get to know you better too. Soon I fell asleep in the hut while Andrew kept watch. In the morning I was woken up by a sharp noise. I ran outside and saw that a bandit had fallen into our trap. Andrew saved us. Let's get out of here before the others come here to rescue him. He grabbed my arm and pulled me along. My heart was pounding and I was scared out of my mind. But I still felt safe with Andrew. Luckily, at that moment, we saw a rescue boat with our parents on it. Yay! Alicia, Andrew, there you are! We were worried sick! We came back to the resort. I couldn't stop thinking about Andrew and everything we'd gone through together. I tried to call Toby to get my mind off things, but my boyfriend didn't answer again. What was up with him? My mom was acting weird too. She seemed pensive and lost. I was sure she was just worried about our money issues. I was still mad at her, so I thought it served her right. She shouldn't have deceived me. Soon our vacation came to an end. We came back to our hometown together. While our parents were discussing something, Andrew and I said goodbye to each other. He went to a boys-only school, and it was unlikely that we would see each other often. Even though I still didn't want to marry him, we could become good friends after everything we had been through, so we agreed to stay in touch. I'm glad we met, and thank you for being so brave on the island. Any guy in my place would have done the same. See you later. Mom and I came home. I couldn't get Andrew out of my head. Luckily, Toby finally called me. Where have you been? I'm sorry that I texted you so rarely. Mom got sick, and I had to get another job, but I missed you terribly. We chatted, and I realized how much I missed him. So I tried to think of a way for us to see each other. I'll sneak out and surprise him. I started when I heard a rustle outside my door. I thought someone was eavesdropping on me. However, when I looked out into the hallway, I didn't see anyone. Then I ran outside and climbed over the fence. I was fast, and Mom wouldn't even notice I was gone. I bought a couple of hot dogs and headed to Toby's place. But then I saw something and froze. My boyfriend was chatting with some girl on the porch, and then she kissed him. I was about to lose it. Is that your new job? You're a jerk, Toby. Alice, it's not what it looks like. Wait, we're done. I threw the hot dogs at the trader and ran home. I'd never felt so miserable before. Both my mom and my boyfriend lied to me. I could no longer trust anyone. I blocked Toby's number to forget about him as soon as possible. And then I got a text from Andrew. I really wanted to talk to someone, so I told him everything. I'm sorry, Alicia. I hate liars. He suggested we go to a concert together. I immediately agreed because I knew that Mom would be happy I was hanging out with Andrew and let me go. The next night, Andrew picked me up in a limo. He gave me a chocolate bear and was a perfect gentleman. When he opened the door for me, Toby suddenly ran up to us and begged me to hear him out. There's nothing for us to talk about. I got into the car and went to the concert. On the way there, the car broke. Our driver opened the hood and tried to figure out what the problem was. Andrew suggested we go to a cafe and drink hot chocolate in the meantime. It was late, and we were in a bad neighborhood. We soon came across some dangerous-looking guys. But I wasn't nervous. After all, I was with Andrew. I was sure that he would put those thugs in their place, but he shrank into the wall and started stuttering instead. Please, I'm scared. I want to go home. I was very confused. Why was Andrew acting like such a coward? That's when I got scared. But then Toby came around the corner. He bravely chased those bullies away and ran up to me. Are you okay? I'm sorry I followed you, but it was driving me crazy that you were on a date with another guy. Oh, Toby, you saved us. I hugged him and then a taxi stopped next to us. Mr. Charles was the one behind the wheel. Apparently that was his new job. What are you guys doing here so late? Hop in, I'll drive you home. We got into the car. On the way to my mansion, Andrew kept whimpering. He called his parents and asked them to pick him up. I was baffled. Toby told me that he didn't even know the girl I had seen him with. It's like someone sent her to me on purpose. I was beginning to suspect that my mom had a hand in this. So when we got home, I invited everyone in. It was time for us to have a serious talk. Did you set up my boyfriend? Mom denied everything until Mr. Charles told her that Andrew had acted like a coward while Toby kept a cool head and saved me. That upset her, and she said that she was against the idea from the very beginning. What are you talking about? Well, when you were on the island, I told Andrew's parents that you liked another boy and didn't want to get to know their son. They decided to make Andrew look like a hero so that he would impress you. I was lost for words. None of our adventures on the island had been real. The pirate was an actor, and Andrew had just followed a script. He made a hut out of the materials that had been left there for him. He didn't catch the fish either. What the fudge? Andrew, I thought you were brave, but you're a fake. He was crying like a baby and said that his parents promised to buy him a car if he impressed me. What a lazy and helpless moron. I had my doubts, but I was glad when I saw that our plan worked and you became friends. When we got home, I heard that you were going to meet Toby. I decided to set him up. So I asked my friend's daughter to come to your boyfriend's place and kiss him in front of you. I'm sorry, Alicia. I shouldn't have done it. Mom said that she realized that Andrew was a cowardly liar unworthy of me. That was when his parents arrived. Mom plucked up the courage and said that there would be no marriage. My daughter is not a thing. She will decide who to spend her life with, herself. I will support her no matter what. Wow, I never dreamed I'd hear her say something like that. But Mr. and Mrs. Crowley got mad and said that in that case, they would not help us pay our debts. And then they left with their son, slamming the door on the way out. Soon we had to sell our mansion and move into a smaller house, but that only made my life better. Now I go to school with Toby and have a lot of friends. Mom apologized to Mr. Charles for firing him. We often have picnics together. I've never been so happy.